Now, this is doing the rounds quite a lot at the moment. The law of attraction, they call it. I've been talking about this for years in terms of what you put out is what you pull back. This energy that we're generating that can now be photographed and can certainly be felt when you meet someone and you say, oh, I've got bad vibes from them, or I've got good vibes from them, depending on their own state of being. This energy is the energy that creates our reality, because it attracts to us a reflection of itself, and what that energy reflects is our inner self, our emotional, spiritual, and mental state. So when we feel fear, we attract to us fear. We attract to us what we most fear. And this is the ultimate evolutionary genius. It's what I call designer evolution. Because of this system of what we put out is what we get back, we constantly see a reflection of our inner self in our everyday life. Therefore, we can see our inner self in a physical way and learn from the experience and move on. Also, fear is the greatest block on evolution. Whatever area that we fear, that our fear relates to, is a no-go area for our evolution. Because people don't normally say, well, I fear that, I'm going to face it. They go, oh, no, thank you very much, change the subject, not going in there. So this process of drawing to us what we put out means that we have to face what we're putting out, so we can face it and evolve. So when we fear something, we draw what we fear to us eventually. When we put out anger, we draw to us anger. When I was having my angry period, in the 1970s particularly, my life was a series of angry confrontations. I was working in the media and the BBC and all that stuff, and wherever I went, I was attracting angry people all the time. Even if I was in an apparently consciously calm state, my subconscious anger is still going out there and it's still pulling in angry people. Someone comes into a bar in that period and they'd had a bad day, they found me every time. And then I realized, and I started to ask a few questions, what's the common denominator of all these angry confrontations? Oh yes, it's you. So what goes on? What's causing them? Why? Started to realize, because I was angry, I was attracting anger. There was a lovely song that I came across by an American group which said, if you hold anger, guess what comes to you? A lot of very angry people do. And I certainly know that to be true. And when I've observed my own life and the lives of others, it's very obvious that what they're putting out in their state of being is creating their physical life. And there's nothing more debilitating, more controlling and limiting than the victim mentality. We're encouraged by this manipulation throughout our lives to see ourselves as victims, to blame someone else. Oh, I'm a victim, I'm in this situation because of A, B, C, D, and on it goes. And when we're in that state, we're going to stay in that state, because when you think you're a victim, the victim vibe goes out, the victim circumstance goes in. When you say, hey, I'm not a victim, I'm in control of my life, I've created these circumstances I don't like, therefore I can create circumstances I do. At that point, the victim mentality's gone. Victim circumstances stop being attracted, and suddenly people come into your life who are just the people you need to get you out of the circumstances you don't like. And if you don't realize what's happening, and most of us don't at the time, we say, oh my God, mate, I was so lucky. This fella came into my life at just the right time, this person, I couldn't believe it. Amazing luck. No. You pulled them in because your state of being had changed and you synced with what you needed to get out of that situation. We are so in control of our destiny, it's unbelievable. And yet billions are persuaded they're not, and therefore they create a very different reality. So if we're in fear, we can attract a reflection of fear. But when we emit love, we create a very different energy. Therefore, we create a very different reality. It's just a choice. Everything is just a choice. I keep hearing people say, oh, I had no choice, mate. I had to do it. We never have no choice. We have choices we'd like to make, choices we'd rather not make, but we never have no choice. It's a cop-out. And some people find it very difficult to take this on because it's much easier in their own mind to blame someone for what happens in our lives. Much more of a challenge to say, hey, I've created this. I'm responsible for it. But when you do, you stop creating what you don't like and you start creating what you do. Relationships. Relationships are a vibrational attraction. We draw them in.
when we sync with people, we sync with them energetically, you have a relationship. Then for whatever reason, someone might change and their energetic field changes, their magnetism changes or whatever, their vibrational field changes, and suddenly it's not syncing with that person anymore. In the holographic play-out world, we say that relationship has broken down and they've parted. Well, they've parted vibrationally. And sometimes, that's good because you get things from each other and you learn from each other, and then, hey, it's time to move on and have other experiences. But it's the vibrational connection that draws them in. It's the same with jobs. It's the same with luck. Luck. Why are some people lucky and why are some people unlucky? Because what they're putting out is what they're drawing towards them. I watch in sport and football and stuff, and sports people. These people that they get so close to winning, but they never quite can win. It's almost like they're frightened of winning. And when I observe some of this stuff psychologically, it's almost as if they can't believe that it's possible for them to win. Oh no, that happens to other people. It doesn't happen to me. So when you get to that point where you're just about to achieve, somehow in the holographic play-out world, you manifest something that actually stops you winning, even though it seems to be no problem, it's going to happen. And it's what people call having a self-destruct button. Just when you're about to achieve something, where's the button? Boom! Oh, something's happened, and it doesn't achieve what is obviously going to happen. It's because of the energy we're putting out, which is a reflection of our mental and emotional state. And one real big energetic magnetic attraction of reality is intent, I've found. Intent. An intent, this is what I'm going to achieve. This is what I'm going to do. This is what I want to do. This is what I will do. When that intent goes out, it goes out as a vibrational field, and it draws back towards us all that we need to achieve that intent every time. The thing is, at this point, it breaks down with so many people because what they need to experience to achieve the intent they say they want is not something they'd like to experience. So I'll bugger that for a game of soldiers. I'm not having that. I don't want it that badly. And when we start to transform, things start to change in our energy field. When that happens, things that we were drawing towards us in the old energetic state are not making a vibrational synchronization anymore. And so in the holographic play-out world, relationships break down, or you lose your job, or you move home, or something happens. Your life changes in the play-out world of the projected holographic reality because what's projecting it has changed. And so when we put out an intent, this is what I want to do. I want to expand my mind. I want to open my mind. I want to connect the true magnitude of who I am. There are things that come towards you that you don't often like very much, but it's necessary to break down those structures within us so that that intent can be fulfilled. There's this DVD that's been going around for a little while now called The Secret, which is based on the law of attraction. And, I think the principle, there's a lot to be said for it, but I do think it can be very simplistic sometimes, this stuff about law of attraction. The idea that if you keep visualizing a Ferrari, that somehow you're going to have a Ferrari, and you put Ferraris all around your house. I'm visualizing I'm going to get a Ferrari. Well, the thing is, maybe you will get a Ferrari. Good luck to you. Don't see myself anything in them, but that's just me. But if your journey, what you've come to experience and what you've come to do does not sync with having a Ferrari, then you can wallpaper your bloody house with Ferraris. It ain't going to happen. It ain't as simple as visualize a Ferrari, law of attraction, brum, 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 here I go. It's the totality of the energy field that we create that draws in our attracted reality. One part of that is the range of energies or vibrations and frequencies that we are accessing. The more expanded that is, the larger our state of awareness, the more our energy field in embodiment is affected by that. That affects what goes out, it affects what comes in. What our energy field contains from all these different influences together makes the magnetic connection which we draw into us.